Welcome to Washoe Life, the podcast about interesting people doing really cool things in Washoe County. We are definitely going to talk about that today. I'm your co-host, Nancy Lewin-Hagen.
And I'm Bethany Drysdale, and we are joined by with Christina Thayer from our Parks Department, but that's a little bit of a misnomer with what you do, so we'll let you talk about that. Trails Coordinator for Washoe County, and it's pretty exciting why we're here. So first, introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Thanks. I'm Christina Thayer. As you mentioned, I'm Washoe County's Trail Program Coordinator. It's a new position with the county, and I'm housed under Community Services, Parks, and we call ourselves Trails and Open Space.
Lots of open space here in Washoe.
Lots of open space. A lot of people don't know that beyond our parks, we actually manage a lot of open space and trails that are adjacent to Forest Service or HOAs, different canyons, river access, and that's my world. That's where I work.
Well, today we are at a brand new river access trailhead, and we're in Verdi. Let's talk about this. This is going to be really a great thing for our people who love to get out and enjoy open space.
Absolutely. We're really excited about this. It's river access along 4th Street, just to the west of Highway 80 and between Verdi and Mogul, really. Yeah. And it's a joint project with Washoe County, as well as Tumwa has played a little bit here, and we are providing not only river access but future and kind of existing trail access right now, but for mostly river folks to portage around the dam and have a new place to picnic and park and be able to come and swim and fish. It's really exciting and one of the more beautiful spots on the Truckee.
I don't know if you can hear it. It's a bit of a windy day. Welcome to Northern Nevada. But as we're talking to Christina, do you hear that beautiful Truckee River behind us?
Yes, so glad I'm not in an office right now and out here. But using the river, and I know rafting on the river, floating on the river is a big deal, but you run into these dams and have to get out and portage around them. So this is a way to make it easier, or did this not exist before? Or people just bushwhacking their way around?
There's historically been a river portage where folks have had to get their boat out. And as you know, rafting, sometimes they can be pretty large. And then they have to carry them down and around the dam and find another place to put in. And that access point was a little bit far and people had to bushwhack, and there was some stuff out here that might have been a little dangerous. So we've really just made this more accessible for everybody, as well as safer, cleaner. And now there's a nice walking path and a few bridges to maybe even access your car if you've parked here.
And I was going to say, new parking,
new restroom. There's a restroom facility or a porta potty for now, and picnic tables and a mat.
Awesome.
Yeah. And ADA accessible.
ADA accessible, as well as dog friendly. We have a dog waste station, so hopefully you can pick up after yourself and have a place to put it while you're out here on the river.
And the name is aptly named Riverbend.
Yes.
So, and we are right on the river. This is the first new facility for parks. Is that correct? In quite some time?
In quite some time. We do have a few others that we're working on right now that are pretty exciting. They're in the coming future, but this has been a long time coming, and kind of this project was started by Joanne Loudon, our natural resources program manager, and really she's done an incredible job over the last couple of years pulling this together, and we're really excited that we're about ready to put a bow on it.
That's what I was going to say. How does this come to be? Like, how does Joanne go, okay, this is going to be the one? Funding and ideas.
Well, she's incredible at that anyway, but there was a bit of a land transaction that took place so that Washoe County could actually attain this riverfront access, because we know the public always wants to get to the water and the river. So Washoe County manages this property now after this transaction. And then Joanne, who's exceptional at attaining grants, applied for a grant that would basically do a number of different things besides providing parking, boat turnaround for trailers. There's a lot that comes into this as far as permitting, and because of the river and creeks and watersheds in this area, there's a lot of different regulations and agencies that need to chime in and give us the go-ahead that we can put structures in place.
You know, and just one more thing. It took about 2 years. You think about this stuff. You don't just pop down and, hey, all this happens. It's a whole process.
It's a huge process, and it takes a lot of coordination and timing. With winters, sometimes a project comes to a stop and we have to pick it up a little bit later.
So we're here because it's something new. So that's, reason number one. Reason number two, it's basically summer. I'm going to call it summer since it's so nice out here. People are getting out and they're using trails. They want to know places to go. Number 3, we're going to come right up on National Trails Day. So we want people to go out to all of our trails and use them on National Trails Day. So tell us some other places in Washoe County that you are really proud of, maybe some work that's been going on that people will be able to see this summer as they're getting out and about.
Yeah, we have a lot going on right now. One of our main projects that we've been working on is a new bike park in Sun Valley at Sun Valley Regional Park. We're really close to finishing that, and we're super excited to provide that for the community at large, including folks from Truckee and Lake Tahoe like to come down to Washoe's parks in the winter. So that is real close. We also have down in Galena, we're building a new trail through Galena Regional Park that will really help provide more hiking access as well as safer passage for mountain bikers who like to come out of the Forest Service and come down through our park. And so we're building some new trails in that region. Like I mentioned, some more river access. We're in the beginning phases of across the river from here. It's called Canapa Ranch, and it's an open space managed by Washoe County. And we are developing a new trailhead with system trails that are in coordination with the Forest Service, and then another river access for boaters. So we've been doing a lot of planning and engineering coordination with that.
Okay.
You know, it's not the first time we've had Christina on our podcast. We had you when you just started a couple of
Yes.
You're a small, I mean, it's you, a couple. What does it take to maintain all of this?
That is a great question. I do have one staff member, Bobby Fowler, who's awesome. We were very happy to have him. And then Joanne Loudon. And it's really just the 3 of us, as well as our park planner, Faye Marie Picard. And the 3 of us at the top work to coordinate. Bobby and I really work with a lot of volunteers and stakeholders within the Washoe County area. Biggest Little Trail Stewardship, the Forest Service. Right now, most of our work comes from a lot of just kind of sweat equity ourselves or working with volunteers.
So your typical day is not necessarily going to an office and working. What does a typical day look like?
I spend a little too much time in the office for my liking, but there's a blend of both. I do a lot of driving everywhere from down towards Carson to meet with some of our neighboring stakeholders within the Truckee Meadows region, all the way up to Gerlach sometimes. Wow. So we, as you know, have Incline Village as a part of Washoe County's area. So sometimes I go up there to deal with maybe meeting with groups about the speeds of e-bikes or what we can do to do some safety messaging on shared spaces. I might come out to a place like this and just make sure that a contractor is on target. Sometimes I'm bushwhacking, and recently we literally were up to our chests in the river trying to find a new alignment.
Oh, wow. What's a new alignment?
A new alignment. So trying to find a new trail route. So,
but you got to get in the river for that, Christina?
Sometimes. There's a lot of bushwhacking, sometimes avoiding rattlesnakes, trying to find where the route will go that's the most safe and sustainable, as well as beautiful. I look for beautiful features. And sometimes you just have to go through something not great to make the great thing happen.
Like you said, as we were walking, we're a little bit in on this Riverbend trailhead, and you were like, well, this used to be just nothing but thick.
This was very thick in here, a lot of downed wood and branches and dirt. And we've done a handful of work with Keep Truckee Meadows Beautiful out here for the Great Community Cleanup and filled dumpsters full of trash and tires. And so this area has really been cleaned up.
Wow.
It's beautiful. They've done a beautiful job. I think our contractor really went above and beyond of picking up all the debris that was around here.
Now, safety is number 1. And you mentioned like you're looking for realignment because this is on everybody's mind. We're going to talk about it just for a second. Whites Creek.
Whites Creek is popular.
Yeah. It's a popular trail and people are using it because, again, it's basically summer. And
where is it? Let's remind people.
Whites Creek, actually, you describe it.
Yeah, where it's at. Before we get there, I just want to make sure everyone knows where it is we're talking about.
Whites Creek is one of the county's most popular trails, and it's in the Galena Creek area, just coming off the Mount Rose Highway, just a little bit to the north of the Mount Rose Highway, and follows Galena Creek.
Right. We started hearing from residents, oh my gosh, there's stuff going on the trail, there's construction, we can't get to the trail, or it's dangerous. And I was so impressed. It was like right away, you guys jumped in and you're like, okay, first we're going to close it and see what's going on. So what is going on there, and what can people expect? It's a lot of work. So what can people expect as they're getting out there in the next, several months?
Yeah, I think the most important thing to know is it's closed. There's a segment of it that is closed right now due to construction, as you mentioned. We have a developer who has a permitted project that, unfortunately, some things happened where we weren't able to get out there ahead of time and make sure that there were safety measures in place. But they are now. And so we've closed it, and we're looking at options for rerouting. We're very close to figuring out how that will happen. And we'll put up signs and just direct folks on the way to safely get around the construction that's happening and get back on trail.
So I'm not a trails coordinator, obviously. In my mind, it seemed like, well, okay, just shut it down. That makes sense. But I love how you guys jumped in. You're like, whoa. Can't just shut it down for good and that's it. People still want to use it.
Oh, yes.
So you guys were not scrambling, it's the wrong word, but really looking for ways to still make it accessible.
Absolutely. As one of the more popular trails, and it's surrounded by neighbors who've been using that trail for 30, 40 years, probably, or more. And so just wanting to provide trails everywhere is something that's really important to the county, but in that region, that trail is a major connection for a lot of other trail systems around there. So we know that people are going to try and use it. We really want to keep them safe. So it's important for us to say, hey, if you do enter this area, we're going to give you a place to go to get back on route.
So we're talking about some of the most popular trails. We have 10,000 acres. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Open space.
Right. So I'm not going to ask how many trails, but on a given, you're managing a lot of these type of spaces.
Yes.
How do you keep up?
I don't. I don't. Every day it's a new thing. But I think as long as we're keeping our trails safe and sustainable, those always fall to the top, or they rise to the top of the priority list. A lot of my work, I'm planning for something that's happening 2 years from now. So what's happening right now on the trails is really, turning the reins over to Bobby and the park staff and helping understand what can we do today, maybe a new sign or something to direct folks, coordinating volunteer projects every week, basically. We're really stepping up our volunteer program. So I really encourage everyone to get involved and get in touch with us, and we'll put you to work.
So you can take volunteers. You don't have to be like a county employee. Although county employees can volunteer.
We'd love you to come out and volunteer.
Okay. And then do you have like programming that you also work with, or is that more through like the park staff?
That's more through the park staff.
Okay.
I do work with some other stakeholder groups like the Biggest Little Trail Stewardship or Muscle Powered, and they often have something going on, and we'll work together. And Washoe County is fortunate enough to have the land that actually needs a lot of the work. So we're a team. We're a team in the projects and the programming.
So I want to talk a little bit about trail etiquette. I'm a golfer, not a good golfer. I always say that, but the one thing I do tell people when I'm and I love to obviously hike too, by the way. But the one thing I do when you're on a golf course, I always say, hey, look, even if I'm not good, I understand the etiquette. I understand fast play. I'm going to pick up. I'm going to, replace my divots. I'm going to do all that. What can we tell people about trail etiquette? Because it's just it's so important.
It is so important. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. It is something that is a huge part of trail management, and it's the part that we struggle with maybe the most. So, our trails, other than OHV, Washoe County does not manage trails for motorized users, but we do manage trails that have equestrian, pedestrian, and bicycles. There's a lot. And so it's really important to understand that that's all shared use, and that we want everybody to enjoy the trails. And I think the number one complaints are really about speeds. And I'm not a fan of targeting one user group, like e-bikes or skateboards, because I could maybe run as fast as, not really, I'm a terrible runner, but speed is the issue. So I think just keeping speeds at a minimum when you're in a shared space is really important, or just being mindful of that, as well as understanding that as a walker, we often take walkers out of the etiquette, right?
Right.
But when people
There's
walk
etiquette.
4 to 10 people side by side and other people are trying to pass, it's important to be mindful, even as a walker or a dog walker with a long leash,
To the right, right?
to the right. Yeah. Pass on the left, walk on the right. Yes.
Simple.
Yeah.
Pass on the left, walk on the right.
And communication is so important.
Yeah.
That's, especially if you come across a horse, what do you do, right?
What do you do?
What do you do? The good question. The most important thing is to stop no matter what you are, walking, biking, and just talk to the rider and talk to the horse. You stop, you step off to the trail and you ask the rider, hey, what's the best way to pass? And you let them decide, because they get a horse person, an equestrian is top of the food chain. They get, they have the right of way no matter what.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah. Okay. So when I am a hiker, I love hiking. And mountain bikes scare me because they say on your left, and then I'm thinking I'm going to go left. I'm going to go left, and I was getting it mixed up. So as a walker, what can I do to stay out of the way of a mountain biker? What do you say?
As a hiker, well, ideally, in a perfect world, I would get everybody using bells.
Yes. Okay.
Everybody would add a bell to your scooter, to your mountain bike, so that it becomes something that you just know, oh, someone's coming up on.
Yeah. I do like that when I hear the ding, 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 ding.
I do too.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And it's really hard to convey this to most folks, but the way that I like to think about it is whoever's working hardest should probably get the right of way. Although uphill travel always has the right of way, right?
Yeah.
Right? Uphill travel has the right of way. On a mountain bike, if someone's coming up on you and you're hiking, it's going to be really hard for them to stop and let you keep going.
So move.
Yeah.
So, the kind thing to do would be to just step off for just a minute, step out of the way safely as long as it's safe, And again, it all comes back to communication. If somebody's coming towards you and they're ripping downhill, sometimes you just can't necessarily predict that that's going to come. Our new style of trail design that has come a long way from the 90s is really to provide what's called line of sight so that everybody can always see each other and that you're not building trails around blind turns so much anymore. It's not always possible, but, communication and just talking to each other and understanding that everybody wants to have a good time.
Yeah. And pack it in, pack it out.
Pack it in, pack it out. Absolutely. Yes.
And everything.
Everything. I mean, and we know that, some people are not dog people. And so being mindful and not letting your dog run up and jump on somebody else if you're out on Forest Service land or parkland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have a brand new place for you guys to come.
Yes.
Very easy to get to.
Super easy. So our office, if you don't know, in Washoe County, it's kind of downtownish. I was here in, I think, 11 minutes. So close, so accessible.
It's so close. Yes. And it's on your way to Crystal Peak Park, which is also one of
Another
our favorites.
Gem of Washoe County. Yeah, just beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to ask what your favorite is, but this certainly is the newest, right?
This is the newest. I have some favorites that I'm not sharing with anyone.
I understand that.
Yeah, not yet.
We appreciate the work you do, Christina.
Thank you so much.
And I would like to say this is our first podcast with a dog.
Willie has been the best little co-host ever.
He's amazing. And a great way he gets to come with mom to work.
Everyone loves a trail dog. Yeah. A well-behaved trail dog.
He's well-behaved. Yeah. He's sat at our feet for the entire time.
I'm afraid to move. You might see me shuffling because I'm afraid that I'm going to accidentally kick him.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Thank you for joining us. And again, your second
having
time, and you bring just so much great knowledge to this and passion for what you do.
Oh, I love it.
Coolest job. I think we said this last time.
We did.
Coolest job in the county.
I feel pretty lucky.
Hands down. And get out here. Riverbend Trail access right outside on the way to Verdi.
4th Street.
4th Street. Thank you.
4th Street.
Just beautiful. We thank you so much, Christina.
Thank you.
And thank you. Get out and enjoy the trails and enjoy your Washoe life.